Chessington Wild Adventures is a family orientated park, but there are some amazing and really thrilling rides, so join me today, Tom Derrick, as we count down the top 10 rides. Coming in at number 10 is Cobra. Now this is a Samperla disco ride located within the Wild Asia themed area, and you guessed it, of course, it is based around a cobra, and you go up a little bunny hill as well as going up both sides in possibly the most uncomfortable restraints ever, and this is why it's placed at number 10. However, the ride itself is a really good fun attraction, and I definitely recommend going on it if it has got a queue under an hour. However, in those summer days, you can expect queues up to 2 hours, which is definitely not worth it. For number 9, we're heading out of Wild Asia and into the Rainforest, as we're heading on to the new attraction for 2020. Yes, this is River Rafts, the children's style log flume, which you definitely can't judge by its cover, as you get absolutely drenched in this attraction. At the start, you go around in the most coolest boats you could possibly ever imagine, as you sit inside a crocodile, but cannot fit a lot of people, and for people who's like my age, who's 15, you can only fit yourself in it, but for a younger kid, you should be able to fit a kid and an adult within the boat. You head around past all these amazing elephants, giraffes and all these wild animals in the forest, and finally you go down this huge drop, and trust me, you want to bring a spare pair of clothes. Now into number 8, we have got Gruffalo Ride Adventure, the possibly only ride which actually replaced a better ride, Bubbleworks, but nevertheless this ride is fantastic, and it is based of course off the book for Gruffalo, as you follow a mouse around the woods and see so many familiar characters including the owl, the fox, the snake and so much more, and then the big finale as you see the Gruffalo as you go down this huge drop into some amazing water fountains. And this is one of the rides that we do every single time we go to Chessington, as it always has a short queue and is incredibly fun to joke around on, as well as get some photos with our childhood heroes. At number 7, we have got Rattlesnake, the ride where if you have back, neck, heart or just want to have a good time, we do not recommend heading onto it, as you get flung from side to side in your car, forward and back with a brake run, and overall only have like one good part of airtime on the attraction before coming off, never wanting to do it again. But if you do want to brave it up and head onto this ride at least once, go and give it a go, because the scenery in the queue line is actually fantastic, and until you get onto the ride itself, you may actually have a good time. Also, for some reason, if you do make it out alive, comment down below and tell me what you thought of Hell on a Coaster. P.S. The only reason why it's at number 7 is because some people actually enjoy it. If you love monkeys and being able to swing around, you're going to love our number 6 spot, as it is Monkey Swingers, an attraction where in the summer it is definitely a delight as you get squirted by water, but also in the winter it is great fun to be able to swing around in the freezing cold. And if you are brave enough to be held up by 4 chains in the air, you're going to love this attraction, as it's always a walk on queue, and heading around on it you can have the biggest laugh ever. Woohoo, we are now at number 5, and at this spot we have got one of the attractions that was actually way out of my number 10, but this year they have turned it around so much and it is now at number 5. Yes, this is Tomb Blasters, attraction with an awesome soundtrack, great theming, and all around just a great way to spend some time with your friends trying to defeat the curse of the tomb. But of course, as it is a 2020 list, we are going to judge as well what it is like in social distancing, and they actually have done very well in this attraction, making sure that we all social distance in the queue and still keeping the line very short even when cleaning the car after every single go. In addition to leaving perfectly onto number 4, which is going to be Scorpion Express, or actually as the ride that we like to call it, the Outdoors Flying Fish, as it is actually a complete replica of the Flying Fish over at Thorpe Park, apart from the absolutely fantastic scenery of being able to head from this mine at the start and then head over the bridge before heading onto the attraction, where all the staff are so friendly as you lap round the ride absolutely amazingly twice and get to see the awesome fire effects which no one can forget on their visit towards Scorpion Valley. At number 3, we're going to go from Scorpions all over towards Tigers, as we're heading over towards Land of the Tiger, which is a new land for 2018 to complete Tiger Rock, which is of course the family orientated log flume, a bit bigger than River Rafts, as you get to head round past all the tigers and scenery, have 2 fantastic drops including the last one which you go through the tiger's mouth itself, and overall have a really pleasurable experience as well as having a short queue. Last time we went there, however, due to social distancing, they wasn't the greatest on the attraction, as they had to keep cleaning the boats. They sent it through twice, and actually when we got off the ride we thought the queue was over 120 minutes, so if you are heading up during the summer or a hot day, I definitely would prepare for a long queue. But personally, it's not surprising due to it being one of the only water rides located in the UK, so well done for having an awesome water ride like that at one of the UK theme parks. It's time for number 2, and at the number 2 spot we have got Vampire. And I know some of you may be thinking, obviously I know what number 1 is, but it may change. You don't know, maybe something really odd is happening, but actually number 1 isn't what you think it is. However, it was very close to choose which one was number 1 out of Vampire and this ride, but unfortunately Vampire just goes back one little spot more due to a fight which I had with my friends to decide what was number 1, but actually they are both amazing attractions, and Vampire has such great scenery, 2 lift hills which is phenomenal, and overall it's just such an enjoyable ride, my first ever dangling leg ride, so I'm going to call it now. And just heading around all that atmosphere, the new soundtrack for 2020, honestly, if you're going to go on any ride, head onto this ride first because it does get very busy, and it's actually a lot better to head on this one first than Dragon Fury, as of course it's not near the entrance. But when heading onto the attraction, you kind of go up the lift at the start. The first part of the ride is very short, but again, whipping around some of these turns, you just feel so excited and stuff, and it's definitely better than some rides like Nemesis and Inferno in my opinion. I feel like Nemesis and Inferno, the elements are too rough and it's too exhilarating on the attraction, while this is just a very enjoyable way to go around. And then going up the second lift hill, that bit when you go over across the zone, I'm going to call it Transylvania, I don't know if it is actually called that, but just being able to see all those buildings down below and cover over them, oh, it's honestly such amazing. And for younger kids who head onto this ride, as a height limit I think it's only 1.1 for the attraction, it just must be so amazing to be able to do something like this before going through that tunnel. And honestly, that whip as well in the tunnel, when you go under that tunnel, honestly, careful, watch your POV before you go, probably on this video right now, as actually it's a lot rougher than you may think it is. But overall, Vampire thumbs up, but unfortunately it didn't just quite make it over towards the number 1 spot. This is the moment that you've all been waiting for, and we give a little bit of a shout out towards other rides before we do get to the number 1 spot, and one of these attractions is Rainforest Revenge. Now this ride has been open at the park for over 20 years, but actually it closed over in 2019, and we were there for the closing day. But of course, as it did close in 2019, we could not put it on this list. However, I can guarantee you that it would have definitely been at least in the top 3, and if not, maybe even number 1, as it was the only ride at Chessington actually went upside down. Also, such rides as Safari, which has been put in here, which is a great ride for families to do. The new Flying Jumbos for 2020, as well as just so many more attractions for everyone to enjoy over at the park. But then we get up to number 1, and this attraction is going to be Dragon Fury, 100%, you guys probably guessed it. It is such an enjoyable attraction, very good, scenery fantastic, and overall it is a tough one between Vampire and this, but this just took it over. This the funness of being able to spin, the variety of every single ride, as well as having that scenery around the whole land based towards this one attraction, as even though the queue is a cattle pen queue, just being able to head onto it, spin around, makes a 90-minute queue worth it. And there are a very rare amount of rides that do this for me, but the ride layout itself, you start off up this lift hill, it is very wobbly, so when you look in the queue line, don't get put off by how wobbly it looks, because of course it's all part of the ride and it is safe, as I do checks every day. You then drop down and go up this amazing arch where you can either look down or look up. You don't really know because it spins, but they're amazing. Then you go over loads of bunny hills, you then go round through this helix where you can put your hands in the air, and if you do slant one side, if all the head on one side and the light on the other side, you then start spinning a lot more, as we've done that before, and you do spin an awful amount. You then go up this little lift hill, which I will clarify the second lift hill, but it really isn't that big, so I'm not really going to clarify it like a Vampire second lift hill. But then you go and do like a rattlesnake turn where you do more spins, do a drop, and then finally come into a bit of elements I really love when it kind of straightens out the car, but it just sounds so satisfying when sitting on the car and listening to it. But if you're going to do any ride on this day, I would do Dragon Fury, and if you are going to do it, a little tip from me is do it in the middle of the day. It's very near the entrance, and if you do it near the start of the day or near the end of the day, you can be expecting a really long queue from this attraction. But even in the middle, it has got a long queue, but as it is such a boring queue line, I do recommend heading in the middle of the day, and you're not going to ruin the experience. Well, there you go, that is the top 10 rides over at Chessington Adventures, and if you did enjoy and want to see more content like this, including vlogs, top 10s and so much more across the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button just down below, comment on what you want to do in the future, as actually this video here got suggested from a Legoland top 10 video, and actually we do reply to every single point within 24 hours, so if you do comment on anything, any well done or criticisms or anything might have to improve or new video ideas, which we all appreciate a lot, we will reply to them and give you amazing feedback from our team over here on Theme Park Coasting. Also, if you really like what we do and you like us as people, let's check out our second channel called the TPC Club, which we've just launched, where you can see all of us behind the scenes, including playing games, doing challenges, and just having a great fun time out of the theme park world. But I think it's now time that I sum up this video, as I have loved doing this for you guys. I want to give a big thank you over towards Adam Derrick for editing this video, as well as thank you all to Jayden Austin for editing our other videos, and Hugo for promoting this video over on social media. But yeah, my name is Tom Derrick from Theme Park Coasting, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.